Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Here, let me actually tab back the game because, as usual, it pauses the game when you all tab out of it. I decided to do a little bit of looking into the behind the scenes on this one. Just a bit. Just a little bit. And found a couple of things. First, no, it's still technically 16 by 9, but whatever, screw it. We'll see what it does once we get into gameplay. So, I'm just going to go ahead and give this away right now. You still cannot rebind the controller. That sucks. Because of course you can. Why would you be able to rebind a controller? That's madness. The first thing I want to talk about, because I love starting with this, is you remember how I mentioned during Ori and the Blind Forest there were allegations of workplace issues. Well, that's a vague phrase, and I decided to do a little bit more digging to find more specifics. What I found was that there were allegations, and I'm going to say that as bonkersly as possible, about people who were using off-color / controversial jokes, which who gives a crap, to be blunt, and people who were getting heated and argumentative because they were under a lot of stress. Okay, so I believe both of those 100%. I also don't care, because the one that I do believe, or I guess I shouldn't say that way, the one that I do care about, and the one that actually is problematic is crunch. Now, I wanted to start with that, because first of all, that does suck, and crunch can go directly into hell and die in a fire. But I wanted to share with you a quote I found here, because this quote, I think, summarizes everything. Check this out. A lot of people completed Blind Forest in roughly 8 hours and thought it was a positive experience, but our community told us there wasn't a lot to there wasn't a lot of draw to come back once they completed the title. They just wanted more. So we took that to heart. This game is 3 times the size, the scope, and the scale. When I saw that quote, my heart just sank. Because if you were paying attention, one of the things I praised Ori and the Blind Forest for was being very tight. No padding, no fat. A very good, bite-sized experience. 8 hours, that sounds about right. It took us a little bit less than that, but we weren't 100%ing. So yeah, exactly, Mike Kamano. Congratulations. You have just pretty much artificially made your game worse by making it longer. Now, in the interest of fairness, they might fill it out. As we've talked about before, size itself is not necessarily the bad problem. But anytime a developer specifically talks about that in an interview, that makes me go, like when a developer goes out of the way to be like, oh my god, it's a huge game, I'm like, oh, okay, so it sucks. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, what does this have to do with crunch? Well, first of all, they were trying to make a game 3 times the size. The original Ori and the Blind Forest team was about 20 people. The team for this game was about 80. And they suffered multiple delays. In fact, like 3 of them over the course of several years. So, the reason I mention all that is because, of course they were crunching. Of course I believe that 100%, not just because this crunch culture exists in general, but also because the fact that they wanted to do so much more, and they wanted to do it under a deadline, which they kept failing at, which meant each time they failed a deadline, the pressure would get worse. So yeah, of course there were arguments happening, of course there was high tension, of course there was crunch culture, and of course that needs to be addressed. But either way, I thought I'd start with that. Start with a negative, so to speak. I'm not actually going to give a negative for that, but, you know. Oh yeah, that reminds me. You're probably wondering what these difficulty modes did last time. So let's give a negative to gameplay literally out of the gate. Actually, let me verify here really quick, because I could be wrong. I have been wrong many, many times in my life. Yeah, crunch needs to die. It really does just need to die out. Some specific developers, some teams have been doing better about that. That's it. That's it. Yep, so negative to gameplay, just like we gave in Ori and the Blind Forest. Difficulty options. It affects how much damage you take and how much damage you do. It's the standard, bog standard negative. I pretty much always only give one negative for the lazy difficulty thing. Unless it's really bad, like in Oblivion or something. But, yeah, we're just going to turn that down to easy, because I don't give a crap. Also, I can't rebind the controller, so that sucks. I'm going to shut up, because this is probably going to be an Ori intro. If I were to guess. Forest seems to be doing better. We, of course, don't have an attack anymore because the thing we were using to attack last time... Oh, my God. You know, went back to reignite the tree. Hi, Gumo. Twitch being crap, Blade Turbo. I don't know. Listen, all I'm saying, Mr. Red, is if I die right now, the world will be a better place. Alright, so. We shall always remember the day. The 15th of November. Sound effects are already noticeably better, by the way. Like those... When new life came to Nibel. Or probably Nibel, because of course it's pronounced that way. Aw, the bird hatched. We named her Koo. And we were no longer starving, so that's pretty neat, too. Also, if the models look differently, it's because they literally are. Different render technique, I think is the word I want to use there. The backgrounds are supposed to look different too, because most of the backgrounds in Ori 1 were actually drawn, so they were literally 2D with some accoutrements. In this one, apparently, most of the backgrounds are actually 3D models. More of that background-y stuff there. I actually really like that sound effect. Oh no, I noticed how cute that is. See, we've got the owl there on top of everything else. Just goes back to that recurring theme of death and rebirth. Alright, in all honesty, I think that our themes are not exactly mutually exclusive, so I think both themes exist as is. You can do it. You can do it. What, you are also having that issue, Crazy Norse? Well, I can't alt-tab right now to see what's going on, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it because it's probably something on Twitch's end. So, something wrong with the bird's right wing. Koo's right wing. Yeah, it's probably Twitch. If it doesn't show up over here, excuse me, there's a pretty good chance I didn't see it either. It's probably the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 came out and everybody's going out of their minds playing it and streaming it, if I were to guess. Grubs. Gross. No, winter! Hey, I didn't vote on that, Tom Red. You guys did. to it. Yeah, we can much more easily see the damaged wing there. I'm just waiting for the big tragic moment to show up. That's. I'm ready. I'm braced. Umbo and Naru heard it too. Nope. Yeah, you have a bad wing. You can't overcome that with, like... Despite what Hollywood will tell you, you can't just grit your way to overcoming a disability like that. You gotta work with it. That's right, let's make her a bionic wing. Okay, in all honesty, that would actually be totally awesome. Can I just take a moment to gush about the footstep design? It's really rare that I comment positively about footstep design, but listen to this. It's even properly varied. In addition to, obviously, it's per surface. Yeah, it's varied and it's distinct. It was one of the first things I noticed. Okay, so we don't have technology, but we do have magic. Maybe we can... Aww. Yeah, 5 years. Speaking of, who's still excited for Silksong? I don't mean that as a dig. I'm just pointing out, you know, sometimes a game takes forever to come out, and then is awesome. StarCraft 2. The answer lay in the past. In the power of destruction. We must awaken the mountain and burn the forest. Wait, did we start with... We do. Interesting. So a little less getting something stuck in my eye. A little less visual storytelling this time around. But very high quality, as usual. Look, I'm not evil. I just want to make it better, no matter the cost. So, this right here is actually excellent tutorialization and level design. Look at this. For real. Watch this for a second. So, the whole ramp is going downwards. Why is that relevant? Because then when there's a ramp up, it's noticeable. It's significant. If the whole ramp was going upwards, it wouldn't catch your eye quite as much. But because it's this long slide down and it goes up, it feels like a slide even if you're not really mentally processing that. Then when you come to the cusp, what's the very first thing that comes into view? And notice that the background trees are such that they are not blocking the view of the vine. So you immediately, without even thinking about it, intuit, boop, which is exactly what I just did. I didn't even think about it, because climbing wasn't a mechanic in the first game, but because of the way that was visually presented, I knew instantly that this was a climbable object. That's good tutorialization. That's awesome. Someone thought about that, and I love those little details. Yeah, that might actually honestly be a plus to gameplay in the intro here, because that's great. Just like that. Bam. We now know that we can climb in the second game. We have a new mechanic before we've even actually hit the gameplay. And without a line of dialogue. Hey, it's a feather from your dead mother. Sorry. It is sweet, I get it. So let's see if it works. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I mean, I'd be okay with that Kira White Nose. It would be a good contrast to the first game. And of course, the Gumos not only have hands and fingers, and remember, opposable thumbs are a huge advantage, but we know the Gumo are architects. They had an entire facility, that was my favorite dungeon in the first game, that was built, constructed. It was the closest thing to civilization we saw in the entire first game. So naturally, the idea of building something would be there for Gumo. This is what I mean by work with it. You can't just magically make some better. You have to make something better. Does anybody else see a turtle there? Is it just me? What the hell is that? Hang on, we're accidentally playing the Avatar game. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There's Spikeville. Yeah, Bobland. As I say, here it comes. We know it's coming. How do you fly in a storm if you've never flown before? Also, we have an artificial thing for... What is that? Okay, real question this time. Well, shoot. Separated by the storm, our story began. Also, did you notice the windmill, or not the windmill? What do you call it? Thing that uses water to grind flour in the background. Watermill, thank you, God. Which also implies a certain degree of intelligence, constructive ability, and ability to manipulate our surroundings. Interesting. Well, everyone's dead, including us. I do love everything being dead. Let's alt-tab. Yeah, I was gonna say, she's dead. Like, this game doesn't have any problems with killing people, so... Plus to death. Alright, probably not as many pluses for intro, but let's think about this for a second. So we once again have visual storytelling, of course. brickwork, of course. We're just going to call that moment. And I think we're actually going to call that moment again. I'm also going to write down external continuity because we can do that now. And I'm going to jot down a potential for plot, question mark. So yes, we're starting off with 5 pluses to story. I should update the HUD. One of these days I'm going to automate that. I'm going to figure out a way. I don't know how. I have no idea how to make that happen. It's probably going to involve some kind of completely custom software. Hang on. Sorry, give me a second, because I just thought of a way I can make that happen. But the hard part is getting from a text file to the spreadsheet or vice versa. I'll think about that later. That's going to be a thing. And yeah, let's jot down some brickwork, question mark, and then doodads. We didn't actually have that many doodads last time around, so we'll see what they do with it this time. Music direction. Don't even feel the need to make that point. Music maybe. Question mark. Yeah, we might actually be upping the brickwork a little bit from last time. Most zones only got a single positive for brickwork last time, which was fine. But the problem is that I have to figure out some way to interpret that hazardous. And the real problem is text files don't have bullet points. And I'm not using a text file, I'm using a Google Doc. So what I essentially need is something to pull from the text document. Oh god, the animation. Hang on, we're going to write down animation while we're thinking about it, because holy crap. Animation. What I would need is some way to read the Google Doc and interpret how many points are there. How many bullet points are there. And then translate that into something readable in the document. We're a tree spirit of some kind, vaguely defined. God damn, the lighting. We're going to write down lighting, too, because that's another thing I'm immediately seeing. We have, of course, turned off motion blur, because motion blur is cancer. Could interact with. Especially if we're familiar with the first game. They're doing more stuff with the foreground, too. Look at that. Autosave indicator. And, yeah, indications of... I mean, there's a frickin' sign here, for God's sakes. But also, like, buildings... shelter. Hi, random. We're like 10 minutes in. Yeah, sound design. Right, I need to write down sound design. I gotta write down a lot of things. This is front loading a lot. There we go. Okay. Come back! I'm here to kill you and eat your stuff. Nom, nom, nom. So yeah, flat out said Spirit Light can be traded, so currency, as was mentioned in chat a few seconds ago. Yes, this is another example of I didn't play this at launch. Or ever, actually. This is my first time playing it. Hey, just, you know, in case you haven't figured out wall jumping and backflipping yet. We are playing on the PC as usual, random. What are you now? Not a Moki, clearly. Not even from Newen, are you? I've visited most lands near and far, not seen your kind. Come from across the water, maybe? Whatever you are. I'm Talk. Wanderer in these parts. The better parts, at least. Taking shelter from that storm myself, but if you're thinking of going further, you have to get through the Spirit Gate over there. You'll need 2 keystones. I happen to have one in my bag, and there's another in the cave to the west. But acquiring it's a job for someone more nimble than myself. What do you say? We have a quest. I'm not sure what I think of that yet. That's interesting. We have in the inventory. Not sure what I think of that either. Fluid, but we literally have only one attack right now, so I'm kind of hesitant to be too positive about something. It is already slightly more engaging than mashing X, which is literally all combat ever was in the first game. Yeah, sorry, I should clarify. When I say that it's already more than just mashing X, see how we can just do upward strikes? Or some vertical strikes like that. Or, excuse me, horizontal strikes. The animation also is a lot smoother. Oh no! Still no key binding, which is going to keep throwing me for the same reasons it always does. It's just my life. I'm just going to live with that. And you'll notice there's a lot of... Well, I'm going to count all of this as the intro, but there's still a lot of good tutorialization and looping level design, too, by the way. Did you see that? Nice little tidbit there. What is... That's a Gorlek ore, which we can't access right now. Yeah, I'm bonkered by the fact that there's no key binding in this. That's actually really strange. Like, for the first game, it was already unacceptable. Speaking of which, I should give a negative for that. But for the second game, like, this game came out 6 years later. Like, that's just... I don't even know what to make of that. Yeah, this came out in 2020, for God's sakes. Hello, Polikas. Hope you're doing alright today. You're back. And is that a keystone I see? Here's one more for your trouble. I am ever a bird of my word, eh? Now I can continue my wanderings through Newen's lost wonders before we lose any more. And you can carry on with whatever it is you're doing. Good luck. I I mean, you're probably right, Act. Generally speaking, if someone doesn't include rebindings, there's really only two reasons for it. One, it was a game made in the 80s. Or two, they just kind of don't... Like they did it deliberately, for lack of a better way to put it. It's like, these are the controls, live with it. Sometimes I'm okay with that, and sometimes I'm not. Lack of rebinding is not always a negative. You know what, that's fair. Or it didn't even occur to them. A really, really, really common problem, from creative types in general, but especially game developers, is certain things just don't even occur to them. Because why would it? They know what they're doing, and they know immediately how to do it. It's hard. I'm explaining that badly. I don't actually mean that as an insult. That happens to everybody. It's why having external playtesters is so useful. You are in such a mindset because you've helped build the game. So you need that external viewpoint, that external mindset to help give you new perspective and point out things that you're not stupid about. You're not even malicious about. It's just it literally never occurred to you. It's one hello of many reasons why a good QA team is so damned invaluable. See, I'm kind of the same way, except for me, it's B. B is jump. B is jump. B is jump. Hey, can we swim? Let's say we could swim in the last game, so we should be fine, and the water's not poison. We should probably also have a double jump, but whatever. Very true, Blade Taval. Having an external editor and having other perspectives on a writing project is something I value very heavily. Whoa! We don't actually take damage when we drown, we just die. It's one of the reasons I value the writer's room, Blade Taval, and like other people getting involved in my writing projects. I've said it before, I'm a damned good writer, but I would not be nearly as good of a writer as I am in a vacuum. I mean, that's absolutely true, Hazardous, but your statement is exactly why rebinding controls should be a normal thing, right? And I mean that with sincerity. Everybody's kind of grown up with different things, and muscle memory is a thing. So being able to just... all I need to do is swap that, and this and that, and I'm good. One little change, and I'd be fine. Well, two. Hi! So I don't have a weapon. Now I do. So first, that was awesome. And second of all, did you see the boss health bar? Because that was awesome. I know that's such a minor thing. It's such a little detail. But I've honestly started to reach the point where actually having a boss health bar is a good thing, like from the review perspective. In fact, if you remember, that was part of a puzzle we gave Curse of the Moon 2. Yeah, Hollow Knight needed a feature like that. A lot of games need a feature like that. Probably Kitten Fan. Probably. I mean, let's be honest, there weren't really any bosses. Not really in Ori and the Blind Forest. But what that also tells us, especially if we're playing this game after playing the first game, is that bosses are a thing in this game, which is a good way to tutorialize that. If you remember, Mass Effect 2 pulled a similar trick. If you remember, right at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, we fight that Atlas mech. Do you remember that? Of course you don't, because you don't play the game. But if you do remember that, the whole purpose of that wasn't just to be like, hey, it was a tutorialization for the fact that, you know, the armor damage existed, so we know about the different health bar types, and that bosses exist, because there weren't really any bosses in Mass Effect 1. Hang on. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna quit the game. Okay, we can skip the prologue. It's a good way to test skippable cutscenes. Looks like we still have unskippable cutscenes. Which, honestly, I was expecting. Smashing jump here. If we go left, we find... death. Actually, we do find several things to the left. This is already letting me go further left than I thought it would. Yeah, no, I understand, and I do, what it takes to make a cutscene like that skippable. And it does take some custom scripting and coding. It's just, they can do that. And I know that because a game that came out in 2002 figured that out. Warcraft 3, by the way. And Warcraft 3 had to go through a lot more hoops to make those cutscenes skippable than any of this. Whoa, this is poison water. And we're dead. But yeah, that's why that's only one negative, Kitten Fan. As with pretty much every aspect of the review, everything's gradient. And we're dead. Yeah, you remember when Warcraft 3 actually went out of its way to have custom scripts to allow skippable cutscenes? And if you don't understand the amount of work that there is, let me put it to you this way. In order to make that work, they had to understand the state of every person, where they would be in their animations, or their locations on the map, or whatever, after a cutscene had concluded, and they would have to then, now that they know where the cutscene concludes, create triggers which say, alright, if you hit escape during this particular cutscene, set this person here, set this person here, set this person here, put this person here, put this person this way, put this item in this person, move this thing over here. And there, yeah, there had to be a fade to black, move, fade back into thing. Like, it effectively was a manually skipped cutscene. It was honestly brilliant. I'm probably going to give it its own positive when we ever actually review Warcraft 3 someday. Knock on wood. Give me that. Give me that. There we go. Probably Europe, but I'm kind of playing chicken with it a little bit. No, I know where the story is. I'm just playing catch-up, because somebody asked me to restart the entire game. Basically, it is possible with mods to play Warcraft 3 vanilla. But, yeah. I'm okay with just kind of letting that sit for a while. After all, we still have the StarCraft 2 review to go through, and that's going to review a lot differently. And probably better. Kitten fan secretly is pure rage. Hatred personified. Meanwhile, someone in chat's screaming, "Why aren't you using fire damage?" Points if you get it, and you're not hazardous. And yet they'd still be saying that, hazardous. You know that's true. You know there'd be someone who's like, "God damn it, just use fire damage." But yeah, so even though there's a text pop-up here, look, it's easy to assume that you, for some reason, cannot speak English, or cannot read, or, I don't know, anything. So, how do we know to progress? This is something that was mentioned earlier, but I feel like actually showing off what I mean. First of all, real quick, check out those water effects. Just really cool. Anyways, so we're locked in here, right? We cannot really progress anywhere, so what do? Well, there's this weird blue stuff that's clearly glowing and clearly being highlighted simply by color distinction. If you're paying attention there, notice how everything else gets kind of dimmed a little bit just to emphasize the blue. So, okay, sure, and we walk into it. And just by walking into it, we immediately start growing on it. Notice, now this is important, no button press was needed. We just walk into the grass and we're on it. So immediately we know that's how we do that. And so now that we know that, hey, we can go do stuff like this. It also looks climbable, admittedly, but my point is, even if it was just a gray texture against a blue texture, you would still be able to intuit what's going on simply by the placement of the level design. What I usually refer to as terrain design. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to go left. I thought I couldn't go left last time. Are you lying to me? Is that what this is? Why would you lie to me, Crazy Horse? Okay, so I've gone to the left. Alright, now what? Okay, hang on. Yeah, I can't make that. I know it, Crazy Horse. Yeah, I've seen, God, 8, 9 things I can interact with at some point that I cannot currently interact with already. Which, as per usual, is good Metroidvania design. As I've often said, one of the most important things any Metroidvania can do in its intro is make it clear that you can come back to get stuff later, just by virtue of seeing something you clearly have no means to access. I know that sounds like such a duh to you and me because we've played video games for the last 30 years, but it's good and important for someone who's playing the game for the first time, or someone who's never played a Metroidvania before. The very concept of things unfolding over time, and gaining access to things over time, is a major part of Metroidvanias, so good way to showcase that. As always, I know these kind of things are duh, but they're important, and they need to be measured, because a lot of people screw them up. So, wolf time. Get some health, because we're low. Because somebody... hazardous. So now we're at, well, 1 health. Music stopped. And we're dead. By the way, lots of autosaves. I don't know if you noticed that. Lots of bones, too. Nice place. Might look about setting up my studio here someday. Oh yeah, quick access. Whatever these are. Interesting. We'll come back to that. Don't want to forget. We gained the power of dead. Or, sorry. Meanwhile... I was gonna say, that's really nearby, relatively speaking. Like, that's across the lake, so to speak. Uh-oh, meerkats. You're not like the others. The Shrieker, the Howler. You shines an ancient light. Yeah, I'm a tree spirit. The tree remembered, it knowed, it glowed. It has shared its memory with you. Now use the light. We want to see. Well, okay. Well, we gained the power of a sword. Interesting. I was gonna say, the first game, in my opinion, was demonstrably made worse by the inclusion of dialogue. I'm not sure I think that here. But then again, this game has a very different tone than the first one, which is also good. I'm one of those strange people who's totally cool with a sequel being, you know, something new or different. Because I like Empire Strikes Back. I already did. Oh, that you mean. While standing. I wouldn't say I like FF15. It got a net negative last time we reviewed it. I stand by that. Jesus. I mean, to continue using Star Wars as the analogy here, I enjoy parts of Return of the Jedi quite a bit, but Empire just kind of completely knocks it out of the water, you know? Just destroys Return on the overall. And the biggest reason why, really, is because Return of the Jedi is Star Wars 2. Of course, those of you who are not familiar with this little factoid would be amused to know that back in the day, Empire Strikes Back reviewed pretty badly, specifically because of the fact that it was not Star Wars 2. That implies there's levels. Also, we can only equip 3 at a time. God damn it. Muscle memory. The light listens to you. You must be a spirit after all. Moki thought the spirits had gone from Newen. Gone away. So long, spirits. You seek someone. We know a finder, the Great One. Great and mossy. Go to the Guardian of the Marsh. Kolok will help you find your way. Destination get. You're fine so far, Ect. You know me. The rule I always use is use the brains. Interesting overworld map. Goes down further than I would think, too. God damn it! I do like being able to rewind a bit. I'm gonna Google something really quick. How to rebind controls. Last time we had issues, I actually figured it out. I don't know if I ever told you guys. The reason we couldn't rebind controls last time is because we're not using an Xbox controller. Which, you may think, who cares? But no, it's actually specifically... the controller does inputs differently. Like, it literally... The programming is different. And I'm using a PlayStation 3 controller, which just, again, from an electronic perspective, is different. So, I need to figure out some other things. So, this game also has the same solution, which allows you to rebind if you are, of course, using an Xbox controller, which, of course, I am not. But, there's another option which might actually succeed here. So what we're going to do is we're going to check our latest save. Yeah, I'm not going to adjust it to X input. That's just going to mess with everything else. That's not worth it. So we're going to rewind here, see when our latest save was. Okay, that's not too far ago. Perfect. I mean, if I could buy one on the spot and just magically make it exist, sure, Crazy Norse, but, yeah. Good afternoon, Walker. I also need to check something. Ah, looks like it's equidistant. Ah, whatever. I mean, I have no real reason to have one Crazy Norse. This is probably the first time that's ever come up, ever. StarCraft, Lord Harrimont. I am very fond of that ship design. That's actually very specifically the Hyperion, which is, I forget the name. It's not a Manticore, it's the other one. It's a big, beautiful, awesome ship. It's one of my favorite ships in fiction. It's why it's there. I knew, Yura. I knew the moment I gushed about that ship, you'd be like, that ship is ugly, it's dumb, and it's worthless, and I hate it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I just have to accept it. I just have to accept that I have terrible taste. I do like the Venator. I do overall prefer the ISD over the Venator, but the Venators are very pretty sharp. I tend to like most of the traditional Star Destroyer looks. Even the Harrower back in Tor. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's try this. Okay, so let's enable this. Please. Oh, okay. Apparently I can't turn it on at all. Okay. I mean, that's just the Allegiance at that point, von Falkenstein. What, the Voyager era? I mean, it's okay. If I had to gauge all of the hero ships in Star Trek, I'd probably put that as my third least favorite, which, translated a different way, would make that my third favorite. So, make of that what you will. I know, right? Kitten fifth. Okay, so that's actually not going to work. Whatever. We're just going to live with it. We're just going to live with it. Let's jot down some other thoughts while we're thinking about them. There was something else I wanted to jot down. All right. 15 negatives to everything. No, I'm actually with you, von Falkenstein. Even speaking as someone who absolutely adores the ISD, the bridge layout and the extended reactors layout is extraordinarily stupid. Like, it makes no sense on any level. It literally, this is not a joke, literally only exists so the good guys have a weak point to shoot for. But this is not Star Fox. So it's dumb. Okay. Why is this in the wrong spot? There we go. I need to write down quick access. There's a wolf on the pause menu now. That's cool. Everything's cool about that. Where the hell am I? Okay, I know where I am. So far, the combat is neat, but simple. We'll see what they do with it. I mean, it's better than Ori 1's combat already. So make of that what you will. Let me guess, Lord Harrimont. Roblox. And yes, I'm aware of the fact that my viewership numbers are going to shrink over the next few days, as everyone is off playing Baldur's Gate 3. Or watching Baldur's Gate 3. Oh god, that's awful. I may have to rebind again. By which I mean push this back over to X, because hitting A and Y at the same time is just not happening. I can't do aerial attacks because my thumb literally doesn't stretch across the controller. I mean, we're playing the Shantae games next. I'm pretty sure nobody's ever even heard of those. Like, real talk, how many of you in chat have heard of the Shantae games? Bonus question. How many of you have ever played them? By the way, we'll be playing all of them if you're not familiar with it. I know I put names up on the upcoming list, but that is every Shantae game. Yeah, we'll be playing the original on the Switch, of course. We're playing all of them on the Switch. Hey, we'll have a proper controller for once. Holy crap. We can tell already that's more combat focused because it's pulling the Devil May Cry thing. You know what I'm talking about. It's actually the beat 'em up thing. All beat 'em ups have that. You can't progress until you kill all the enemies or a certain number of enemies on a screen. How was Mount Horror? Too long. 2 negatives and a positive. That's what Mount Horror was. Oh yeah, speaking of which, congratulations, Lord Harriman. You're the one who won the guessing game, but you were off by like 1. So, very good job there. Yeah, I don't even want to try Mount Horror Deathless. That just sounds terrifying. And honestly a little boring. Oh yeah, because Horror's right at the end too, so it's like, no problem, I got this, and I have to do the whole game over again. God. I know that deathless runs are pretty common, hardcore runs, in a lot of genres. I should know. I used to do Mega Man games deathless, but God, the modern me looks at that and just is like, oh my god, I don't ever have the time for that, because that's what deathless runs really take. Don't mistake me, there's a lot of skill and memorization involved too, but what they really, really take is time. And I used to do that in Mega Man games, which were only like 30 minutes long. Imagine doing that in an 8-hour game. trying to pay attention to the soundtrack because it's doing something with the music, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly. Because there's several variants of what it's doing. I'm not sure which it is. I'm liking the music in general, but I mean, I like the music of the first game. I gave it like 4 positives. Well, one of the reasons the genre sheet even exists, Lord Harriman, isn't... Well, okay. One of the reasons is just because I like statistics, because I'm a geek. But the other reason is that way someone can compare directly and say, okay, I think this game is as good as such and such. And then just look at a previous game's golden number and guess based on that. Actually, quite a few people have done exactly that, as the guessing game has been gaining popularity. And for those of you wondering, you could just type in !genre into chat, and that'll get you a link to the sheet. If you don't see a game we've covered, it's probably because I put it somewhere weird. Also missed something. Still no mini-map. Which is still a weird choice. Especially since in a game like this, as we saw with Bloodstained, a minimap can literally just be a map, which is repeated in the upper right. I mean, I'm sure there'll be at least a few hackles. You'll notice, for example, Hollow Knight is not in the platformer, the 2D platformer, or excuse me, the platformer section. Or maybe I did put it in 2D. Point being, it's not there. Because Hollow Knight is a Souls-like. The light from the wells runs all through Newman. It joins, it heals. You're dreaming everything, Troycia, because this is a second game, not first game. I could put them into multiple categories, but honestly, since all of that is done manually, I'd rather not. Yeah, I know, lazy, whatever. Look, I got enough paperwork in my life as is, okay? I actually experimented with doing the inputs automatically, and it completely worked perfectly until anything changed ever. And if you've done any kind of programming before, you know what I mean when I say anything changed ever. Hang on, one variable's wrong, the whole thing breaks. Yep, one symbol's out of place. Yeah, that didn't work out. I mean, yeah, Walker? Not to sound negative, but name a good dungeon crawler. Yeah, sorry about that, boss. I accidentally put a comma in there. If we count the Diablo games as dungeon crawlers, which you'll note I do not. What? Then, sure, I'll give you that one. We have successfully found a new way to lose Deathless. Accidentally pushing a rock on ourselves. But no, I usually judge where a game sits in its genre, first of all, entirely based on the gameplay. The gameplay being the primary loop that determines that. Story has nothing to do with genre whatsoever, at least when it comes to video games. And as the reviewer, as someone who's reviewed literally hundreds of games, I usually just pull it down to a judgment call. So the Diablo games, for example, are in RPGs because they are RPGs. Because that's their primary vehicle and function. Now, I could see a pretty strong argument that Diablo 1, just 1, is a dungeon crawler. But 2 and 3, No. Those are RPGs through and through. In my mind, and this is admittedly a bit of a perception thing, a dungeon crawler is a game where the primary vehicle of the gameplay is the aforementioned, the crawling through dungeons. And, well, we've only played a few of those, and most of them have not been super great, other than Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, obviously. Although, if I might be so bold, the weakest part of that game was the dungeon crawling. It doesn't help that one of the games we review was fricking, what is that? Bard's Tale, which just... Ugh. What is this? Do you see this thing that's, like, right under me here? No, the green thing. That's, like, undulating, like it's alive. Oh, whatever. I will admit, and this is very anecdotal, I've never played a good dungeon crawler in my life. Now, I'm not saying that to be like, dungeon crawlers suck, because it's more like I don't know what a good dungeon crawler would look like, because I've never seen one. As I've said many times, I don't actually like genres. I like games. Or whatever. Either way, I'm going to go with the no. With regards to noticing that. In fact, I still don't notice it, even though I was literally staring at it. So I think I'm just blind. Now, I saw the cracks, but I was told there was going to be like a glow thing, like there was the first game, which I did not see. Yeah, let's retrace a little bit. Still didn't see it. There's to say the glow. Negatives to gameplay. 5,700,000 negatives to gameplay. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start remembering that pebble walls are breakable and just look for pebbles. Yeah, I sort of thought that was going to happen. Wait, what? Takoida? Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. That disoriented me so much I fell. Where did it say that, Takoida? Weird. What does it show for you, Theoretical? If you don't mind my asking. Like, I don't really watch Twitch, so I'm a little ignorant of the specifics of how it displays certain stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say, most of my stuff should just point to the website, because I just kind of keep the website up to date and base everything else off of that. Are you a spirit? Then tremble, spirit! You stand before Mok, the brave. It's not very convincing, I know. But I am brave, or I would be with a trophy. Trophy like a Howl Skull, or just a Fang if that's too heavy. I heard the Howler fighting to the east. Maybe it dropped one? Quests! I'm still weirded out by the existence of quests. Yeah, that tracks. Twitch has been really weird all day. Earlier, and possibly still, we were having issues with people's chat just not showing up. So that's cool. Thanks for that, Twitch. That's an interesting question. When did Hollow Knight come out? I mean, probably Crazy Norse. Twitch is in love with constantly making their interface worse. 2017, so yeah, it predates this by 3 years. I mean, honestly, that's pretty much Spider-Man's kit right there, Lord Harriman, if you think about it. It's why Spider-Man platformers have good potential to be good. Which I have to phrase that way because they never have been. I mean, where's my 2D platformer Spider-Man? Come on. It's built for it. And don't tell me about Spider-Man and the frickin' Sinister... Or not the Sinister Six. That's the NES one. Which sucks. But then there's the one in the SNES one, which also sucks. It's Arcade's Revenge, I think. A real Hellfang. None will doubt Mok the brave now. This is for you. I am brave, but I am also generous. Oh god, I've played the Genesis 1 era. A friend of mine had it. We just got ore, which we have to give to a smith. Now, you know me, anytime I see crafting, it's just like a warning red flag goes off in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh god, there's crafting. Worst NES game that is not Secret of the Stars. Well, you know me. I don't like to make judgments based off of vague memories. But it's totally, oh god, I can't think of the name of the one. Less to the Unlikely. Screw that game. Screw that game so hard. No offense to anybody in chat who likes Less to the Unlikely. Also, what's wrong with you? No, I'm joking, I'm joking. Yeah, FF6 is just a Garbo game top to bottom. I can't imagine how anybody could ever enjoy or spend hours and hours of their life constantly restreaming it to the point where you had to stop streaming it for several years in a row so people would shut up about that, so you didn't gain a reputation for constantly restreaming FF6. Missed what? Sorry? I thought I already got whatever this was. I thought I already got it! That's why I completely walked by it. Heal. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll assign it. Somehow. Oh, there we go. I mean, in my defense, I am extraordinarily tired. I was actually going to go ahead and lay down. Then the dog woke me up. I was like, okay, I'll go make one more attempt to lay down. And then my mother called. So, I didn't get any nap, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, at that point, it had already been pretty much all the allotted time I had for resting, and I'm like, alright, let's get on with it. It's like 1-to-1. We're actually 10 for 10, but whatever. No, it's fine. I'm just exhausted. It'll be better in about a week when I'm no longer having to wake up at 6 in the morning every day. Well, we don't have Bash, so we're gonna immediately leave this area. It's okay, I'll just mark the map. Oh. Double checking. Yeah, no, we cannot mark the map. Okay, cool. We would need a game that came out in 2017 to be able to mark a map. This is just too recent. Hi, Sean. But it's right here, Hect. It's right here. Listen, enemies only 4-shot me in this area. It's fine, it's fine. I got this. Interesting. Got a little more enemy variety going on here. Oh my god. No, I'm fine, Sean. What? Sorry, I fell asleep there for a second. coffee is something that, no matter how good it is, it doesn't matter because I don't like it. Basically, it's something I don't like regardless of quality. It doesn't matter how good you make a cup of coffee, I'm never going to like it. Because it's a cup of coffee. It is the opposite of sushi, something I like, regardless of quality. How many enemies are in this one friggin' spot? Don't answer that. Mosquitoes must die. Mosquitoes must die. Snails must also die. I guess it's more of a slug. Jesus! This really is a beat-em-up. Yeah, exactly, Wenlock. Even if Dark Souls was the best game ever made, it doesn't matter if it's a Dark Souls game. Interesting. Yeah, what is that? Waltz? Dad? I don't know. Waltz would be what happens when the creator of a television show is like, no! This is what things are! Which is actually extraordinarily common, by the way. Yes, the musical episode of Strange New Worlds is out. Spoilers. It's a musical episode. Of Star Trek, which makes it the first Star Trek musical ever. So far, Star Trek has one clip show and one musical. What does black licorice mean? Okay. So, coffee, at least it's understandable why people like coffee, right? Like, you sit and you look at coffee and it's like, yeah, no, I understand why you like that. Like, Yura likes... I can't think of anything right. Mr. Red likes Kingsfield 4. We'll use that, because I know that's an actual example. Okay, I can understand that. That makes perfect sense. But let's say Mr. Red also says he really, really likes Mega Man X7. It's actually a bad example. Or Franbo is probably the... I'll just use Franbo as the example, because Franbo is the only Black Licorice game we put on the books, and ideally will be the only game we ever mark as that. Someone telling me to my face that they really, really like Franbo makes no sense to me. That's Black Licorice. There's a difference between you liking something that I don't and something you like that I can't even comprehend how or why you could like that. Logically speaking, it has to be true, right? Logically speaking, someone somewhere enjoys Franbo. But I cannot comprehend that. It does not compute. Just like Black Licorice. Well, I feel like I just gave this away, but Black Licorice literally triggers my gag reflex. It's vomit-inducing for me. So, I know people like Black Licorice. In fact, I know several people who like Black Licorice, including a good friend of mine and several of my biological family members. So logically, people like Black Licorice. I know this. It is a stated fact. But it's a stated fact that I cannot comprehend. Because all I can think of when I think of Black Licorice is that vomit-inducingness. No, Kingsfield 4 isn't Black Licorice. It's just a bad game. No offense, Mr. Red. Sure. I mean, for the longest time, as a birthday/Christmas gift, I would get my grandfather Good and Plenty. He loved Good and Plenty. I cannot comprehend how or why. Oh no, I know it's chemical hazardous. I'm fully aware of it. I've got the fennel thing, and I've got the, well, I guess that's actually it. I don't have the other one, the, cilantro, I think, thing. Are we where I wanted to be? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Black jelly beans. Mm. Okay, something I would actually like to do someday is try quote-unquote good black licorice. But the problem is, they don't even make that in the country I live in. Or if they do, I've never heard of somebody who does. I'm gonna have to get that kind of thing imported. I don't make that kind of money. It has us. Let's get him out of the country. Who wants to deal with him? Because it ain't me. Hey, Inquisitor Sarah, I have not seen you in a while. The move has been extraordinarily expensive and stressful. Thank you for asking. I would say probably an overall net positive to my life and livelihood. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just kind of afraid, and will probably continue to be for a while. I'm at the point where I'm probably not even going to have my studio set up for... like, current projections are at least a couple months from now. Yeah, all of the big costs are done, as of this point. That's the good news. I am kind of broke at the moment, but all of those big, overwhelming expenses have been dealt with.
Manush.
Greetings! I am Lupo, mapmaker extraordinaire. Quite the storm that passed through. Made my maps a little soggy, so I'll give you half off. Agreed? And then you'll have to give me my beetle stuff! Sorry. Rumor is that you're looking for a friend, and what's it better for finding things than a map? 50 spirits? Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say, really starting to get those Hollow Knight voids. Voids? Really, lore? Voids? But I will say this, oh, I know that feeling exactly, Inquisitor Saru. At least you're a dock worker, which if you're in the union that I know about, which is a West Coast union here in the States, you probably have a really, really good job. So hopefully you're being taken care of. And if you're not, well then, you're going to have a talk with a few people, if you know what I mean. Now, there we go. Well, I don't know what country Inquisitor lives in. I don't know where they live in. It's just lack of information. But again, here in the States on the West Coast, dock workers have it good. Not that that's a complaint, by the way. I think workers in general should have it good. As most people know, I am pretty pro-worker.
Agi.
The name of this place, Inkwater Marsh. I tried using some of that water to draw my maps and wasted good paper, that. Aww. How do you make paper? Yeah, no kidding. Congrats, Inquisitor. God damn it, Shadow Machine. Look, I know that you are awesome, Shadow Machine, but really, what the hell, man? Discontinue awesomeness, sir. Wait a minute. So he uses tree pulp to make his maps. And I'm a tree spirit. Oh my god! It's okay, I'm a tree spirit. I don't give a damn. Death, rebirth. So this is the Inkwater Marsh. So I'm not feeling triple positives for brickwork for this zone, but I am feeling double positives easily. This is a very, very well done zone in terms of its brickwork. There actually are some doodad usages, only a little though, so I'm just going to kind of keep that in the side there. And the intro level is absolutely fantastic. I actually already have a bit of a standard for what a triple brickwork positive for single area is. It's called Metroid Dread. Also Diablo 2. And you're probably thinking, what? No, really. Remember Diablo 2, the remaster? That game had astonishing brickwork. Like, I was gushing about it the whole run. Because they spent an inordinate quantity of time and effort on polishing up those zones. It was bonkers good. Like, each new town, I had to stop for a few minutes to just be like, look at it, look at it. Oh my god. Yeah, brickworks and doodads. It was bonkers good. But anyways, so let's go ahead and jot down double brickwork for the name of the zone, which I was just looking at. It's Inkwater Marsh. Inkwater Marsh. That's it. That's it. Oh, it was incredible, Blade Travel. We did Hazardous, and it was so worth it. Sorry, but I don't care about visuals in a game. Oh, dude, please do, Shadow Machine. I could use more cute cats in life. We actually have a whole channel for pets at this point. I'm also feeling double positive for intro. First and foremost, so it was probably... I'm sorry, I meant to talk it out loud a little bit more. Did you notice how this is a microcosm of a Metroidvania in the intro? What I mean by that is, if this was an entire Metroidvania, it's I said that in the wrong order. This area is structured like its own Metroidvania. There's the linear path, which... but also there were several branching paths, only some of which we could access right now. Most of which, actually, we could access as we go over here, we go over here, we go over here. And each one led access to new things, several of which gave us new abilities, which is why we have so many spirit shards right now. A lot of optional stuff, but built like its own little biome, for lack of a better way to put it, which is good. Good intro, very good intro. Plus, plus. Sure thing, Trihexia. So we get rid of the cards, and we make it Kingdom Hearts 2. Done. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and write that down here. Oh yeah, we need to write down kit. At the moment, we don't have much of a kit to speak of, but I do like the fact that we get this much traversal early on. So we'll write down both of those as kind of a question mark. I'm serious. The way to fix Chain of Memories gameplay is to dump the cards. I'm not joking. It is the easiest, simplest change. If you want to keep the cards, then you have to completely redo the system from the ground up, because it sucks. We'll talk about that during the Kingdom Hearts block, because that game is going to tank on the gameplay score. You know, real talk, I've only played through the original Chain of Memory once ever, when it came out. And I don't remember it that well. That is to say, the gameplay of it that well. Hey, kiddo. Really? One moment, it's my adorable niece. Okay, let me give you some music. So, oh my god, I was eating. My amazing niece is teaching me how to be a proper thief. So, a jewel thief, right? You go into the place, and you don't just rob the place blind. That way they will know that they've been robbed. So what you do is you steal a couple of things, right? Just some of the cheaper jewels. Nothing too fancy. Just so that they won't terribly miss... Like, they might think they're robbed, but, you know, it's not a big deal. We don't need to get Scotland Yard involved in this. Let's just, you know, let's just call the cops and file a report. It's fine, whatever. And then you hit another place. And you steal just a couple of gems from them. And that's how you make your living, is you just do little petty robberies, right? And that way, even if you're caught, it's fine. Because, you know, I only stole a couple of little gems. It's all good. There's no issues here. It's fine. That's fine. So, okay. I got my niece something. Actually, I accidentally got her 2. They're actually primarily for picking up pine cones. You know, how do you sell the jewels? Well, it's very simple. You walk up to the cops and say, "Hey, look what I found. If you buy this jewel from me, you could say you returned it, get all the praise, you know, maybe get that big promotion you've been looking for because you're such a good cop. Think about all of the rewards and the prestige. I mean, your girlfriend might even pretend to like you tonight." Alright, so. Let's see, where were we? What makes backtracking good in Metroidvania and bad in every other genre games? Nothing, actually. So, backtracking is not inherently good in a Metroidvania, because there are Metroidvania games with bad backtracking. What makes backtracking good is good backtracking. But let's talk about that. What is good backtracking? It varies, obviously. But there are several key things that tend to have good elements of backtracking in them. Usually, when you go back through the second time, the nature of how you navigate it changes, like Super Metroid. Maybe the terrain itself has altered or mutated, changed, based on the events going through the game. Metroid Prime, or excuse me, no, Metroid Dread, excuse me. Or maybe they've done something to make either you're super strong, or the enemies are a lot weaker, or something. And believe it or not, actually Bloodstained managed that one pretty well. But also, anything to speed it up, which can be connected to the other things. But you'll notice how traversal in Bloodstained got a lot better the moment we got the freaking dash ability. Those are good ideas. Oh, shortcutting. Shortcutting's another thing that is a good idea to add to that kind of a moment. So yeah, see? Water wheel. I was right. Come to see the view? Splendid, isn't it? The wellspring in all her magnificence. A whole generation of Moki have come and gone since the old mill's wheels last turned. And they say an impressive library sits within. Oh my god, it's a giant evil owl. What's Shriek doing all the way out here? Something must have stirred her from her roost. Something like a bug. That's not a bug. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Well, anyways, something must have stirred her from a roost. Some threat, perhaps. Not you, Shirley. You look harmless. We should fix that. Luckily for you, I happen to be a weapon master. So first purchase ever is cheaper than the other one, so that's interesting. And yeah, bad backtracking is, well, kind of exactly what it sounds like. Twilight Town, the example Random just gave from Paper Mario 2 is a textbook example of bad backtracking. You literally just go back and forth across the same area a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times across the same terrain. No changes, no alterations, no nothing. It's just go through the same level 5 times, and that's minimum if you know what you're doing, and if you know where you're going, and if you're not doing any optional stuff. That's bad backtracking right there. Good backtracking would be giving you some kind of shortcut to bypass it, or giving you new abilities, or changing up the enemies you fight during it, or something. Something to actually add new gameplay to it. Or new story. And yes, I am familiar with Command & Conquer, Inquisitor Sarah. New story is kind of an asterisk, because that's kind of the BioWare thing. So, as far back as KOTOR 1, one of the things BioWare likes to do is to add additional bits of dialogue and flavor text, banter, as I usually call it, when it comes to roaming around. NPCs barking in the background, or party members talking to each other, that kind of a thing. It's a way to try and diminish backtracking, because a lot of BioWare RPGs involve a lot of backtracking. Because, you know, well, because that's the way they're designed, to put it bluntly. But they do try to actually make there be something going through there. So, you know, an example of, say, KOTOR 1, we might give a negative to gameplay, but we would then give a plus to story because of how they do that. And yeah, Spider-Man games. So Spider-Man on the PS4 arguably didn't even really have backtracking in the strictest sense of the word. But yes, making traversal fun is a big thing for making backtracking tolerable. Now, hang on. I just realized I never said thank you to Shadow Machine. I apologize. I got distracted by things and game and also my niece. Thank you very, very, very much, Shadow Machine. Here, let me give you some music. I do appreciate. I am obliged. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll go ahead and jot that down real quick. For several things. Pikmin. Towards Pikmin. As for Sean, thank you, Sean, very much. Always appreciate. And Sean's donation is going towards Spider-Man. Spider-Man. And Stray. Thank you. Okay, so I was told I should pick a bash here. And by bash, I mean smash. Okay.
Oh, dear, wow.
Make the most of your no school skill. The next won't come so cheaply. If you care to put your skills to the test, there's a spirit shrine nearby. Just the place for you to prove your mettle. Our paths will cross again. Till then, keep your blade at the ready and an eye on the sky. And apparently I have a fresh bug bite. I've got a new rumor. Which is definitely not a quest. So we're going to put some calamine lotion, or not calamine, excuse me, Benadryl lotion on our leg. Because, holy crap. The pain. Oh my god, the pain. Okay. Wrong button. I guess we'll do it here. Interesting. Well, I can't reach him anymore now. Straightforward donations. Inquisitor. Essentially donating directly to PayPal is what it boils down to. You can do that directly, you can do that to the Streamlabs link. I've been debating setting up a donation link direct to kind of skip the Streamlabs thing for people who don't want to do that, but that's the idea. I mean, I love the train level, but the train level is a good example of how to do backtracking properly. Like, if you scroll down a little bit, it should be right there, and it's also on the site, by request. What do you mean, Europe? I don't understand the question. Oh god! Oh god! I'm gonna go with no, Kitten Fan. Like, I see some basic lighting from me. Oh, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about this. No? Oh, there it goes. I really did not see that. No. Wow. You're on Twitch Mobile. Got it. Yes, it's on the website. That does not bode well, because I didn't see that at all. Okay, whatever. I'm blind. Moving on. More ore. 3 ore now, I believe. Yeah, maybe if it was a different color, I'd have an easier time seeing it. I don't know. It's also possible I'm just completely friggin' blind. It could also be my monitor. I don't know. Well, yeah, because, like, okay. So, let me explain why I'm not seeing it. Do you see all the areas that are highlighted white right now? Of course you can, because there's one right under me, and there's one to the left of me on the spikes. But I'm sort of automatically mentally blanking that out, because that's just the light I'm giving off. Look. You see? And here. And over here, if I just stand against this trunk, there's a white glow on the right side of the trunk, because of course there is. I'm right there. So, that's why. That's the specific reason I'm not noticing it. Because it's just kind of part of the same general glow I'm putting off. Yeah, it's funny, because we gave the first game a negative for visual distinction, too. For a different reason, but still. My keybind is hard here for a second. I'll take it. Oh yeah, I noticed the hammer movement pretty much immediately. Oh god, I don't remember what I see that dress as. Quest complete. Quest ignored. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Now we're playing Breath of the Wild. We've already got red lyrium creatures. Cool. It's okay, Inquisitor. I'm curious to hear your thought and theory. Although you just have to be a little bit patient with me, because this isn't a perfect game for random chatter. But it's not a bad one. Yeah, if you've been paying attention, it hits for 3 times as much as our regular strike does. And we can't do anything up there, so we're going to move on. So, you know how there's just a whole lot of visual noise in Ori 1, especially in the middle of combat? Well, at times, because the bullets were white with purple outline, and you were white with blue outline, and your attacks were white with blue outline, and the background was white with blue outline, it could get a little to figure out where you were going sometimes. It wasn't a huge issue, so only one negative. If that works, but it was actually pretty bad in some areas. Like the Forlorn Ruins is a perfect example. It's just like We Moki saw where the little owl fell, near the home we left behind. Silent woods. Scary woods. Agreed, Kitten Fan. Extremely unlikely, Trihexia. No, cool. Skip cutscene. We're not. Interesting. We've got the... that's purely cosmetic, but our pause menu is being grown out as we gain new abilities on the left there. Feather! No, let me play as the owl! Oh my god. Quolok is kind. Quolok can help. But I want to play as the owl. That looks like a giant face. The map is not available here. The gaze of great Quolok admits only the worthy. Or so the legend says. Of course, this isn't Quolok, it's just a statue, eh? Come to think of it, it doesn't have any eyes either. How's it supposed to gaze at anything? Some legend. I hate talking to people, Act. God, it's just the worst. Bye.
Oh, knock me.
Funny, I could have sworn the water in the chamber was much higher a moment ago. That's how it is nowadays. Everything changing and never for the better. Bah! Twitch, am I right? Oh, nothing down here. Time to leave. Oh, actually, I literally can't. That's funny. Zoom out to let me know where I'm aiming, please? Nah, whatever. Oh, there's apparently a lock-on feature. Interesting. I mean, the greater mythos of StarCraft doesn't fit into many things, and there's a reason for that. But okay. Having said that, if we ignore the mythos of StarCraft and instead focus on just the basic story of, say, StarCraft 1, I don't know. The question would be, how do the Skrin fit into StarCraft? Because, you know, the Skrin exist. And Tiberium, for that matter. Although, Tiberium could just be minerals. There's an interesting thought. Quest item get. Nothing theoretical. This is my first time ever playing this game. The only thing I knew about this game, we've already passed. I mean, I'd still probably give that to the Tyranids. Because, you know, they're the Tyranids. They're galaxy eaters. With gene cults. Oh my god, that's it. Lavos is used. It makes so much sense! We've opened the way to the Chozo ruins. Hello? Oh, the glowing stranger, my customers speak of with such... Tell me, is it usual for your kind to fall from the sky? I have met many curiosities on my travels, after all. Oh yes, some fall, some fly, some prowl, some slither. But all are customers. Just customers who want spirit shards. Ah, you met the feathered traveler. Not yet a customer, no. He doesn't quite agree with my way of appreciating such ancient temples, you see. But what a waste it would be, leaving my dazzling shards to lie useless and forgotten. Even so, I grow weary of the hunt. Perhaps I will find some place to set up a proper shop. Someplace less dank. Stellaris is actually pretty high tier, but that's because it's drawing from essentially all of science fiction. I would still probably give that to the Tyranids, by the way. But yeah, I think it's the Consuming Swarm endgame is literally the Tyranids. They're a giant consuming swarm that came from outside the galaxy to eat everything. They're the Tyranids. I mean, it's also upgradable. I'm not really having damage problems at the moment. Crit chance is always nice. But we don't have that much money right now. So let's go and grab that. And then let's do this.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Stellaris is, like I said, Stellaris is drawing from all of science fiction, so they go way into bonkers territory. Think about the fact that you can take down extra-dimensional interstellar star eaters in Stellaris. Are we still in... Oh no, we're in Qualux Hollow now. I mean, yeah, loner. Pretty much. Also, space dragons are a thing in Stellaris. You're a spirit, yes? I've seen your ghost. No, it's true. There's a place where ghost spirits run and play. I tried to race them once, but I am not so fast. New rumor. Quest received. Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that act. I just kind of did that. I didn't even use that ability. I mean, there's the Dyson shells, which are in Star Trek, but in canon Star Trek, it's literally a background element in a completely unrelated episode, so whether that counts or not is kind of up to you. If we include STO into that list, that still actually limits it a little bit to one of the high table races. I did actually, Kitten Fan. It's nice to have the little... This is your bonus health indicator. Reminds me of Plague Knight over in Shovel Knight, where the extra health orbs you get are differently colored. And yeah, Star Wars has never done Dyson shells or Dyson spheres. probably what's happening here. I mean, the Star Killer base is stupid on so many levels, I'm just gonna let that one go. Yeah, I was like, are you trying to get me killed, X? There's something moving, and it's clearly to the right. I can hear it in my right headphone. That's why I keep doing this, to try and see what I'm actually moving with that. But I don't... I figured it was something to do with this area. No, dog. Apparently I was wrong. What's a puzzle? I think I've heard of that before. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, okay, I see what's happening. Yeah, that's true. Star Wars has had multiple ecumenopolises, which is already just bonkers on several levels. Maybe we'll come back to that. Well, that works. I'll take it. Almost made that happen. Not that I know of Inquisitor Saru, but honestly, minerals themselves are already one step away from being magic materials, so if you suddenly told me that you could just grow minerals, it wouldn't actually surprise me at all. Interesting. Yeah, StarCraft likes to use as an excuse. Like, if you told me that, oh yeah, by the way, minerals were, like, something that was seeded by the Xel'Naga a bajillion years ago in order to allow species to develop, I'd be like, okay. Like, I wouldn't even question that. Oh, there it is. It's like, where'd the rock go? So my point I'm trying to reach here is if you want to just, like, I wasn't joking. Minerals and Tiberium are so startlingly close to each other. The only big difference is Tiberium has a lot of negative effects and minerals do not. But that could just be because they figured out how to harvest them safely. I mean, it's not like humans don't figure out how to harvest Tiberium with relative ease. It's just, it then kind of completely consumes the planet because they screwed up horribly, but you get my point. Yeah, exactly hazardous. So, like, there you go. Maybe minerals just are a Tiberium thing that slowly converts more things into minerals. I don't know. There's options here. There's options. green, orange, and red zones to go to, if I'm remembering correctly. Try, Inquisitor. I fail miserably, but I do try. Oh, they absolutely would deploy it. No question. The Tarsonis aristocrats were, like, bog standard, typical evil aristocrats. Textbook, honestly. I wouldn't say I'm smarter than anybody, Inquisitor, but, except for EA Executive. But, I don't mind being another perspective on the thing. I'm kind of the same way. Generally speaking, when I approach something from a storytelling perspective, I approach it like it's a puzzle. Here are my objectives. How do I accomplish all of these objectives simultaneously? It's harder to do than it sounds. Like combining all the FFs into one story. You know what? Fair enough, Crazy Norse. I'm pretty sure my niece in real life is smarter than most CEOs, so... Ooh, okay. What's with this oboe? Incompatible? I've never heard of that one, Yura. This is timed. This is gonna be timed, isn't it? They do show up in other places, like Ire, for example, Loner, which is outside of the Cthulhu sector. So I'm assuming yes. But, truthfully, I'm not sure, is the real answer to that question. No. No! Oh, God. Yeah, Ire is a bit of a distance. So is Xeris, for that matter. I believe we don't go that far outside of the Cthulhu sector elsewise, though. Okay, that's back. I was actually going to say, we've been here before. Why did we even go down there? Hey, kiddo. Did you already eat lunch? Okay, good. Don't forget you got bags of chips at the garage if you want some. Okay, so does this look like a giant mouth to anybody else? Like, there's the eye, and then, like, the teeth are the lower jaw. So it's like, See you around, Inquisitor. a little sharky kind of a thing. So this looks breakable! Not because I saw anything, but because it was pebbles. I do like pebbles. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, we go in and all of a sudden it's like, nom, nom, nom. So in the interest... Oh my god, it's raining. I was about to let the dog out, just in case, so the dog doesn't crap on the floor again. But, it's pouring rain out. So... Okay. I don't know how dog barks. That's not my dog, to be very, very clear. I'm not a dog person. I don't know how dogs work. I don't know anything about dogs other than that they exist. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. How long is it supposed to rain? Let's see here. Let's check here really quick. Normally, the people whose dog that actually is, my brother-in-law's specifically, would deal with the dog. But as I think I mentioned, he's not here right now. So that's sort of the reason why this has been an interesting week. Severe thunderstorm watch for the next 6 hours! Got it. Okay, hang on. So I'm going to go see what's up with the dog really quick. I'll be right back. Have some music. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the L would win that one. So, good news. Can't even make this kind of thing up. Dog did, in fact, need to go out and need to go bathroom. Here's the funny part. Here's the part I can't make up. The rain, which I stress was pouring down, slows down to just a little trickle. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So, Doggo goes out, I get killed instantly, and everybody's happy. Hey, I can hold A to jump higher. Did you know that? I have to... Okay, fine. Yeah, the rain was like... That's weird. Rain was like, fine, here. Go to the bathroom. It has already picked back up. So what do we get? Spirit Arc fires faster. Garbage! Totes garbage. So, any guesses that that's the first boss? See it in the background, carved into that rock. You can see little meerkat people, the Moki, attacking some giant centipede death thing. My house. Could be hazardous. We're still in the hollow, aren't we? Let's jot down some magic. Qualux Hollow. Qualux Hollow. I find it's easier to keep track of level stages if I write them down as I go. So they're like in order and I can remember them easier. What, like this? Or this? Or this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. But for real, like, what? Sure, let me go get that crystal. That sounds extremely easy and doable. And there's only two possibilities here. Either it is, and I'm fine, or it isn't, and Crazy Nurse is trying to get me killed. So let's see here. All I have to do is go into the poison water to get that energy crystal. Alright, this sounds like a worthwhile endeavor. Yes, Qualok was what we call the Hollow Knight. You know, I shouldn't say that Ect isn't here. If Ect was here, I would have thoughts. By golly, I would have thoughts! But alas, in the absence of Ect, there are no thoughts. Okay. Second travel point. So, I was thinking about Hollow Knight and how I liked the game. And it's really funny. A lot of people seem to think I didn't like that game, but it scored pretty damn well. There were just issues I had with it, which, I mean, duh, right? Oh no! It's an enemy I've already killed. Probably the first time I'm supposed to meet it. Anyways. Yes, those people just like to hit caps lock. It's weird. But I realized that the obvious choice for Silksong is that it will be better, because expansion effect is a real thing for a real reason. But I had a random thought. What if Silksong is worse for me? Because what if it goes more Dark Souls? Right? Like, what if it drifts away from, you know, being what it is, and being like, hang on. What if we did all those terrible, terrible game decisions that Dark Souls does? But then we'll do them in our game, too, and I'll be like, hey... I keep saying Dark Souls. You know what I mean by that. The Elden Ring thing. And I don't know why that's on my mind right now. It's just... I suppose it's because sequels can take all kinds of different directions. Like, Darksiders. How many of you played Darksiders? Darksiders 1, decent game. Darksiders 2, decent game. Darksiders 3, And the whole point was they completely changed direction for Darksiders 3, which can be good or bad. I don't think there's one main thing that I hate most about Dark Souls games. Hey, we just have air dash now. Yeah, lack of mid-mission checkpointing, irritating traversal, lack of navigation, extremely badly labeled quests. Elden Ring had that in spades. If I didn't have a walkthrough, holy crap. There's... What? Anyways, and now I'm getting experience from whatever just died up there. I'm vaguely confused by that. I was just standing there. Anyways, but while I could nitpick Dark Souls game design till the cows come home, if I had to pick the biggest thing that I dislike about Dark Souls by far, it would be the interface design. I actively despise the interface in Dark Souls games. It's been getting better. Inch by inch. Tiny inch by tiny inch. It's been getting better. But, it's still, even as of Elden Ring, it's still the kind of game that gets multiple negatives to interface. And that would be the biggest thing that would make me go, ugh, towards Silksong. I do like making X suffer. But the main reason I keep not using the hammer, and I bet you can guess why. I'll give you a hint. It's because it's on the B button, aka the jump button. So, in the moment, in combat, I'm not thinking about jumping in the middle of the fight in order to swing my giant hammer at them. There are elements of Dark Souls games I enjoy, and I did review Hollow Knight pretty well. I also rather enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order. Still haven't played Stranger in Paradise, still looking forward to that one. And I haven't played Neo, which is another big one. But the interface? Like I said, even as of Elden Ring, it was still a multiple negative territory. Hang on, I have a voice in my head. It's telling me to go down left. Again, for some reason. Okay, I'm here. Now what? Thank you, Luke. I think. That doesn't look like a real sub, but I'm gonna say thank you anyways. Just in case. I feel like I already got your 3-year anniversary. I really wish Twitch wouldn't do that. I get that I'm like the only person in the world who cares about the difference between a real sub and a fake sub, but it is kind of scummy that the actual Twitch interface has no distinction between a fake sub and a real sub. Like, why? What's wrong with the Dark Souls interface? Yes. Let's see. Total lack of cross-referencing. Way too many button inputs to access everything. Menuing is actively non-intuitive because of which buttons cancel out and which ones don't, because tunneling down and tunneling up are both completely separate buttons depending on which exact menu you're in. I think that's every major interface sin that exists. I'm joking, of course, but no, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And again, even as of Elden Ring, it's merely gotten a little bit more readable. Either way, I'm looking forward to playing Nioh someday. And, I guess Demon's Souls is the last one that we haven't done yet. I take it you're putting that towards Nioh, Kira White Noise. You got it. Thank you for being part of the show, Kira White Noise. Let me get to a place where I'm not going to die to a frickin' slug creature. Get out of here. Get out of here. Stupid snail. Thank you, Kira White Noise. Give me a second, and I'll go jot that down. Hey, Zar. How's your day going? I gotta make that happen. Hi.
Manush.
Hello there. Welcome to Quallock's Hollow. Here we are on the domain of the Great Quallock, guardian of the marsh. Thanks to his care, why, things have hardly changed since the decay came. Alright, what's the decay? 100 spirit. Done. Oh, sure, some things have changed. Not even the Great Quallock himself can stop the decay completely. Take the brambles, for example. Didn't have as many of those before. Or the skeetos. Or the spittle slugs. Oh, I despise them. Come to think of it, quite a lot has changed, even here. Ow. What? We got a bot. We got a bot. Bot is banned forever. Boop. Death to bots and to the living. Where the hell was I? So what is it, Von Falkenstein? Did you figure it out? Was it the Get Wrecked game? Because I think that's what I just did to that guy. Ow. Ow. Ah. Wolong Dynasty? That actually sounds familiar. I think I saw that one. Hey, there's the button. You're right, that looks like more like a 30 heal. So 3-to-1 ratio. I'm glad the hammer doesn't use, you know, mana. Energy, whatever. Yeah, Shrek, son. You know, we might actually give this one a viscerality positive. We didn't give the first game one. I'll jot that down while I'm thinking about it. Oh, is that this thing? Oh, never mind. That's not what I thought it was. I thought that was this thing. So. Okay. Congrats, Hira. Wow, we're... Okay. What's our time to beat? 30 seconds. Cool. Oh my god, it actually is 25 seconds. Okay, so, take two. I do like that you can skip that. If you didn't, that would probably be a negative. Oh, hey, we've got a ghost. Which we are behind now. And we're dead. Feels a little Sonic, aka whoops. A little memorization-y. Oh good, it puts us up here too. I was just about to say, do I have to go all the way back up again? The... which one, Von Holgenstein? Duppy Threeson, 0 seconds. Done! No, I actually agree. With a game, you know, a Metroid-y game focused on traversal like this, races feel like a not logical conclusion of that. Don't mind me, just bodying people. Also true, theoretical. Yes, we let the cat out. We've successfully beaten the game. The whole game. That sounds like a fun game idea, doesn't it? Goal, let the cat out. Problem, you have no arms, no hands, no legs, no feet, and you're a potato. Problem. The cat doesn't want to go out that door. You need to go and find the other door. No, not that one. Okay, now the cat's changed their mind. Hey, this is an actual warp spot. Yay, warp spot. Our actual second warp spot. Yeah, looks like we can do the damaged one. We are, of course, terrible. 500,000th. Oh yeah, the cat wants to bite the potato, which is a one-hit kill and will instantly end the game. We have to start over from the very beginning. Well, shoot. That's what I was thinking originally, too, Minuets. I was like, how am I supposed to dodge that? I do think his hurt box is a little bit too big. Which is a common problem in the first game, actually. It's still decent. A good first boss, all things considered. Probably the functional end of the intro. Thanks. Yeah, I was suspecting, well, the sandworm. Yeah, there was some artwork earlier of something that looked a lot like a sandworm fighting the Moki. So obviously we're about to get bashed because everything in this area is just bash oriented. I mean, seriously. And then we get bash! Bash! Yes. You want me to do that on left mouse? And by left mouse, no, that's not. Oh, Jesus, that's... Oh, that's gonna take some getting used to. Okay. Okay. I'll have to get adjusted to that. Good thing they give us an entire area specifically to screw with it. Listen, it's not my fault that they just gave us bash, okay? That's odd. Did you hear that? Here, listen. Oh, hang on. Nothing. In the first game, there was an audio indicator of when it was going to go off, regardless of you. They apparently decided to get rid of that for some reason. That's a Strange decision. Oh my god. See, yeah, now it's back to absolutely pouring rain out. Good lord. That's a good question. Hang on, I wasn't really looking for the visual. I was just listening, because usually that's how I use Bash, is I listen for it. Not really, no. You just kind of have to know that it's about to be up. They decided that Bash was such a terrible mechanic, they had to nerf it. I do not hear it at all, X. I do not hear it at all. I'm not saying I disbelieve you, I'm just saying that you're extremely lying to me. Look at that, there is nothing there. Not a single bit of audio plays. Until it goes off. See what I mean? There is nothing. You are on crack, sir. I'm sorry. There is, like, all joking aside, there is nothing there. I can literally check the audio values in, because I have those for OBS. It was silent. What is that? So anyways, we're gonna go this way now. What is this? What is this? There were spiders in Hollow Knight. Surely they won't be bad in this game. If they are, I'll just give the game a negative. For spiders. Deepness didn't bother me, actually. I thought it would, but it didn't. Go figure. There is nothing there. You guys are on crack. There is nothing there. There is lightning. I guess thunder, I suppose. Like, I actually think you're just messing with me at this point, which is fine. You know, people do that all the time. Oh, wait, I already went up there, didn't I? Yeah, I did, okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to give it a negative or anything for it. It's just, there used to be a pretty clear sound effect of, hey. Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's, here, listen to this. Boom. And then nothing. Boom. And then nothing. There is nothing there. I mean, if I have to fire up Ori 1 to really demonstrate what I'm talking about, I can. So yeah, so apparently, since I'm not being communicative, in Ori 1 there was an audio timer, which indicated when you would... So let me demonstrate. So for an Ori 1 and Ori 2, when you bash, You can only hold it so long. You can't just sit there forever. So there was an audio timer in Ori 1 so that you could know when it's going to let go and when you're going to jump. That's not here, so you just kind of have to know. That's fine, it's not the end of the world, it's just, it's a really weird change. It's a Twitter change. Making it worse for no real reason. I shouldn't pick on Twitter. YouTube does the same thing. Yeah. Whoops, I didn't actually mean to do that. Oh well. I mean, that's fine. Bash was kind of a major part of the first game, so knowing that timing was arguably critical in the first game. Especially if you didn't... Please don't hit me. The Moki were right. I wanted to believe, but it has been so long. I am Kolok, and you are welcome in my marsh, little one. The Moki telling me you seek your friend, an owlet. She fell far to the east. Let me play as the owl. Oh my god.
She's more quasi. Somnim domovir.
Interesting timing. Okay, so I've got about 10, 20 minutes left before I've got to go make dinner happen for the kids. So, you're not a Moki. I can tell. Your ears are too floppy. I noticed things like this map I found. I would give it to Lupo the map maker, but he has enough maps. It should go to one who wanders. I hear he used to love maps. Maybe he would like this one? Could you give it to him? I saw him in the Wellspring Glades. Sure, or I could just keep it. And yes, that's going to be it for today. This is the week from hell, so we're doing severely limited streaming today. And by today, I mean this whole week. Why are there teeth everywhere? Why are there teeth everywhere? Anyway, so the giant frog is like, I am secretly Jabba the Hutt. And now we're following Jabba for some strange reason. Why is that? Oh, whatever. Hey, who tore down my wall? Come on over. Let's get a closer look at you. Well, okay. But yes, we're going to the watermill because we need to get that sucker running again. Because, you know, that's how that works. Ah, greetings. I see you've made it to the Glades, Spirit. I don't suppose your journey has taken you in the direction of the Wellspring yet. Rumors of an old library have roused my interest. Might do some exploring of my own. Perhaps I'll see you there. Interesting town music. We have to unlock fast travel. Also, these are extraordinarily expensive. Okay, that is actually more worthwhile. We'll go with that. I didn't realize that was from the map.
Oh, Nobata. That's all.
I've heard of a place with some knowledge. Ancient spirit knowledge. The entrance said to be barred to all but the most observant. Good luck. Someplace way down there. So now we can warp. Go like bzz. Bzz. I was gonna say, we only got like a couple right now. Literally 2. God, this sounds like Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, knock me.
Say, what's that paper you got there? It's a dotted line that bold X. That's a treasure map. I'll swap you my Wanderer's pouch for it. Something tells me I'll be needing a bigger bag. And now we're playing a Zelda game. I dared hope the rumors are true, but here you are. New in his hope to a spirit once more. You made quick work of the wall there. Guess my building skills aren't what they used to be. Still, I made a promise I would provide refuge from the decay here. These glades are counting on me, spirit. But without ore, I fear I'll let them all down. The materials I needed were abandoned when my kind fled to the mines. Without the proper supplies, well, my dream of a haven might end before it's even began. So what do we got here? Repair the spirit well, yay. Get rid of the vines. Well, we're just gonna do the obvious thing. Now that I'm building it, I'll call myself a true Gorlick once again. Few true Gorlick are left, so beware if you see anyone out there who looks like me. Not all of us escape the corruption in time. So, spoil something small for me, please. Do we ever discover the source of the corruption in this game? For our home was swallowed by sand, the spirit saw potential in Gorlock ore. They disappeared before we could try what we built them. But now that you're back, that can change. And yeah, we're just... Convenient save point is convenient. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm dropping off. I think what I'm going to do is... This feels like a really good pause point. And yeah, it's boring. So I'm going to chop down to the south. I'm going to forget how to talk all of a sudden. Sin flera kitiapetus, sin daffetum bottom. Ikele tase fapacito. Intas vipita te sentio. Ambediambetambete. Let's put this here. I've been listening to Ati Shondafa Chewbacca. Oh. I guess that would be... Yes, tomorrow... Oh, right. So, tomorrow, we won't be doing the morning stream, because this is the week from hell. For those of you not aware, so we've got the 3 kids here. It's the first week of school. My sister just started work this week because she's a teacher, so it's the first week of school. And my brother-in-law, their father, is not here because he is off on a business trip. So this is the week from hell. So naturally, because everything is happening this week, when everybody is unavailable, I actually have to fill in for them at the pre-K tomorrow morning. So I don't know when that's going to finish, and I don't know when I'm going to get home. So I'm just going to go ahead and commit to not doing tomorrow morning's shift. And whenever the second shift starts is whenever it starts. And hopefully we will be able to go ahead and get some more chewed out of this game tomorrow afternoon / evening. And you might think, oh, well, you get to rest a bit. No. But either way, I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And I will see you later.